Hey, welcome to another episode of Dave's Imaginations. Today, we're going to continue the adventures of Burrek Grumbleforge as he departs Orlbar and heads east down the path to Loudwater, and we will see where the adventure takes. This is going to be an in-between interlude type of episode as we prepare for the Tyrant on Zentil's Keep as Burrek heads east to see where his fate takes him. Stay with me. So, jumping over to the map of Faerun. This is at loremaps.azurewebsites.net. And here we are. They don't actually have Orlbar on this map as it's somewhere between Succumber and Loudwater. And Burrek has taken this path, the Black Road. I don't know if it's called the Black Road that far west, but he and the Brewmounts had traveled from Orlbar east toward Loudwater. I believe the Brewmounts were from Loudwater, and at Loudwater, they were eager to put some distance separate from Burrek as his grumbling zaniness, right? His poor psychic state was getting on them, making them nervous, and so they parted ways. Now, in Loudwater, my first question is, if we look at the notes, we came away from that adventure with some gems, some jade, pearls, blue spinel, and some gold pieces. And my first question is, can I get, and not to mention a light crossbow, right? So can I get fair price for those gems in Loudwater? And so I'm just going to ask. I use Mythic. I've got a Mythic modules hooked up into my Foundry, and so for odds, I'm gonna say it's somewhat likely, sure. And the KS rank at this point has gone down as they seem to be in the clear, and we're gonna just ask the question: fair price for gems. Fair price for gems. Let's see what the fate chart has for us. No, I do not get fair price. So I would say that'd be 10% less. And so he's eager to get the price. So instead of, I was going to give him $13.50 plus 150 gold. Well, $6.50 for that, another 25. I'm going to take 25% off. I'm going to, not 25. No, I'll take 10% off. 10% off. So take off 70, and we'll just make that 600 gold pieces for the two. 600 gold pieces, and we'll take that off. And so when we add that 600, that's 1300, 1450 total gold pieces is what Burrek will have. And so I did this in test, and I got a better price when I was testing. So, but then the next question is, Burrek is creeped out by the sword. The sword of the goddesses, Rath, the sword of Kiaransalee. I have enough voices in my head. I don't need this demon. I need to get rid of this sword. And Bonnie, I would much prefer to use my battle axe. So, I don't suppose I can find someone to buy this, trade it in Loudwater. Let's see what I can do. So let's go back to our fate chart and let's see, can we get a fair price? Or let's start with, can we sell the sword at Loudwater? And chat 53. No, but there's an unexpected event. What's my move towards a thread? Haggle. ambush. Oh no. So he's ambushed on the road by bandits, and so Burrek is asking around for see if anyone will buy this enchanted sword, and we have the vendor says no, but worse than that, they put out a notice that, hey, that Burrek has this sword, and for under the table a fee, tells this bandit, how about a name for our bandit? Let's see if we can get a name for our bandit. And for names, I like to use Fantasy Name Generator. And is it as easy as saying bandit names generator, bandit names? Let's get a name for this bandit. The female name, Charlotte Nightmare. Wow, Charlotte Nightmare. Let's take that, and we'll put that in our notes. As this is, it was a no, but it was worse. Oh, yeah, you like that. And I go to my generators and my NPC generator. And let's do race. We'll say she's human. We know, well, I believe it to be a female. Alignment, well, probably not good. And classic plot hooks. Occupation is a rogue, probably. Looking at, so let's go to class, and we'll make her a rogue. Now, I'm going to make her a rogue, but I'm going to use the bandit stats, because I think a rogue would probably be too tough for good old Burrek. So let's see what we get. Generate. So we're going to drop this name. So we have Charlotte Nightmare, a 29-year-old female rogue. She has short, straight auburn hair and blue eyes. She has rough brown skins. She's tall, 5'7" tall. Has a regular. She's round, but she has a creepy face. But she's very nimble, which would make sense as a rogue. Now that's all I know. As Burrek is leaving, imagine leaving Loudwater on the road toward Llorkh, and someone at Loudwater had tipped off the local bandit, the local rogue, someone in the Thieves Guild, perhaps. Maybe this bandit, maybe this trader had a contract, maybe it's protection money, but let this bandit know that, hey, Burrek has this sword and they might like to take it. They might find that it's not so easy to take off. Charlotte with her partner. And what is her partner's name? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's go to bandit names again, and let's get a dude this time. Brendan Phantom. All right. And meets Burrek on the road, and there is ambushed on the road, and they say, drop all your goods, or we will be forced to put you down. We've got you covered on either side. We have our crossbows trained on you. Why don't you just leave that sword of yours and be on your way, and we'll call it even. And Burrek looks left and right. Present yourself. No. You just drop that sword, or I'll bury this crossbow bolt in you right now where you stand. He looks around. All right, so does Burrek he'll put down his sword on the road, and he says, I think you're going to regret this. And he walks forward, and he goes a ways forward, and he ducks into the path, and he waits from where he sees, and he watches for them to come out. He pulls out his own crossbow bolt, his new heavy crossbow bolt. He waits for him to come out, and the bandit. And when he does, he makes his shot with his crossbow bolt. Try to steal from me, will you? And so He makes his shot. A 6. A 6 plus 3 is a 9. Probably not going to happen. And as he comes back out and says, now that I have you more at even odds. What do you mean? I'm here with my friend, my partner, Brandon. And he looks at, why would you tell him my name? You shouldn't tell him my name. And he says, oh, Brandon, I say, if you run now, I will spare you. Matter of fact, if either of you would like to run now, I will spare you. The next bolt will be between your eyes as he tries to intimidate. Intimidation. Plus 3. Let's give an intimidation. 18. Well, we'll give. Let's go to the fate chart. Let's go to the fate chart, and we'll say, does intimidation work? All right, and I'm going to raise the chaos level to 6, and the odds, I'm going to say I would have put that as unlikely, or even very unlikely, except for he had such an 18 on his intimidation, so I'm going to bump that down to just unlikely. And so let's see. No. Oh, yes, it does. So with that, I'm going to say that Brendan says, I'm not taking on him. I'm going to run off. And the bandit will run away. But she picks up the sword and says, this seems to be quite powerful. I can feel the energy in it. And yeah, the dark energy. If you want it, you're going to have to survive my Bonnie. And she says, well, so be it. And she rushes forward, since he's had actually kind of double turns. And so she rushes forward with the dark sword in her hands, and she makes a swing. Now, the sword gives her a +2 bonus to her attack, but she has no strength, and she may not even be proficient. She would normally have a crossbow as she swings with it, so I'm not going to give her proficiency, but we'll give her a +2 on the attack. +2 on the attack. And so how does she do? That is not a d20. A 4. She drags it along and makes a feeble attempt and misses. And then he turns around with Bonnie in his hands, swings with his axe. 15 plus his adjustment with his great axe. We haven't traded it in yet, so I don't get that +1. So it's just a +4, but that's certainly enough to hit the bandit. And how much damage? Now he's gonna say he's not gonna try to kill her. He's not a murderer, but with D12, both hands on his axe, he might knock her unconscious. As he does, 9 cuts a deep gash, and she goes unconscious. He cuts her down, and I'm not a cold-blooded murderer. He patches up, knocks her out, patches up her wounds. She was down to 0 hit points, knocked unconscious. But with let's have him give him medicine. Can he bring her back to life, consciousness? 5. That's probably no. Let's check to see if he has a medicine modifier. Medicine, no modifier. So, he just binds her up. She's unconscious. I don't know, no need to tie her up. She's unconscious. Fine. I leave her be. I pick up my sword. Well, not that I want to keep you, but I can't just let the bandits take away. Sorry, bandit. Better luck another day. And from there, we'll end that scene. We didn't really get her name. We did not sell the sword in in Loudwater, and we proceed to Llorkh. And so in Llorkh, there it is, makes his way to the inn and makes an inquiry to the barkeep. He says, say I wanted to sell something of great value. Where would I go? And the barkeep looks at him. What are you talking about? You mean like a weapon of some sort? Ah, yes, a weapon of some sort. Or some artifact, perhaps. And he says, well, this is Llorkh. And, Llorkh is pretty small. Pretty small. We're only a town of, 2,400 people or so. Yeah, I know. That was worth the ask. Still, let me think. Let me have a think. He says, no, don't you get any ideas about having robbers attack me? Oh, of course not. Of course not. What kind of an innkeeper would I be? And so let's go back to Foundry. As these two are gone, and we are to Burrek, and let's ask, does he know of someone to buyer for sword? Yes, he does. But there might be somebody. What's in it for me? And he says, he puts down, how's this? He puts a gold piece on the table. Oh, well, that doesn't hurt now, does it? There's not in Llorkh, but we had some traders come in from the city of Shade not so long ago. They were headed back the way. You might seek them. I believe his name was, well, I don't know what his name was. Let's see. Oh, let's go to the NPC Generator. And we'll leave this entirely up to chance. Random. Female. Random. Well, I don't know if she's evil. If this person is classic book. Yeah, I like that. Not necessarily rogue. Random class. Random profession. Well, we know they were a trader. So let's see here. Is that a professional? Sure, we'll make it a professional. Random and no, we'll keep that. We'll keep their profession random. So let's just see who it is. Yes, there was a young female carpenter, 14, very young, trying to make her way, but she was talking about looking for something fantastical type of item herself, and she was headed toward what was the name of the city again? Yes, the City of Shadows. She was headed toward the City of Shadows, and looking for some fantastical item herself. So perhaps you could find something there. And as we look at our map, this is where I want to be. I wanted to be in the NPC Generator. So she has a cropped, braided red hair and blue eyes. She had very silky pink skin, and not so tall, just maybe 5 foot tall, but somewhat of a round build, heavy set. She had a very bulbous face. But so we'll take a picture of that, and we'll add that as a thread. So in Mythic, they deal with threads. So his thread will be find Endolin Tworb, a human carpenter that was looking for some magical item herself. Well, I was going to make the long trek on the Black Road myself through Anrak. I was heading east anyway. So perhaps I can find this person. Thank you, Innkeep. And the next day, he stays at the inn for the night, probably his last night of comfort for a while, and he makes his way east. And let's jump over and let's read. So, couple things you might have noticed is Burrek has leveled up. Burrek has leveled up. If we look at his character sheet, he is now level 3. And per the instructions of the Tyrant at Zentil's Keep, I have maxed out his hit points. That was per the instructions of Zentil's Keep. Also, they are switching from experience-based rewards to milestone rewards. And so I gave him the hit points. He is level 3. Now, taking a look at his build, there is a couple of things here that are of note. We took in the features and traits at 3rd level, I gave him the champion. So at 3rd level, I choose the archetype I strive to emulate in my combat style, choosing champion, battlemaster, or eldritch knight. I went with champion. This archetypal champion focuses on the development of raw physical power honed to deadly perfection. Those who model themselves in this archetype combine rigorous training with physical excellence to deal devastating blows. So I took the improved critical beginning when I get this. Now with his Bonnie, now when he scores a critical hit, when he swings just right, there's a greater chance that he'll do excessive damage critical hit with a 19 or 20. So that is what he got with level 3. Going back to, and then, so I also in Hero Forge, I updated his image, his picture here, and gave him a cloak. I did not give him the sword, as he is actively pursuing getting rid of the sword, the possessed sword. I can't keep it. Its dark energy is driving me mad, even more mad. But I did give him this cloak. He does have this cloak of protection, which he will keep. Now, he does have some coin on him, so he's also going to be looking to maybe buy some healing potions. But he's first interested in trying to swap out his sword, and maybe, if he can, find someone to bless his sword. Bless his axe, because he really likes his Bonnie. All right, but back now. Going back to his character sheet, have I forgotten anything? Have I forgotten any? Level 3. So his hit points max out at 42. He has his new champion feat. Now I need to remember that he crits on a 19. And we will move on to, let's go and read the intro. Let's read the intro to Tyrant of Zentil's Keep. I leave Llorkh, heading east. As I look at the map, Llorkh, I go through, I take the Grey Peak Pass, and I pass Lonely Moor on the Black Road as I enter Anarach, the wastelands of Anarach. On the Black Road is long, hot, dry, hot during the day and cold during the night. Let's see how I wander. I wander far, and at some point, as I cross the Anarach Desert, the year changes. Halfway through the century, I reckon, and certainly the end of the momentous decade of Faerun. So much has happened. The departure of the elves from Coromanther, the rise of the Witch King of Zengi in Damara and Vasa, the end of the age of humanity itself. But these things are far from my mind as I toil across the dry, wasted landscape of the Netheril, heading east, sometimes north by northeast, wherever the wind takes me. But then again, I'm not really heading anywhere, really. That's not true. I'm heading toward the city of Shade. I'm heading toward the city of Shade, just walking. I've already seen much, and for a while I have a feeling that the shadows are on my tail as I walk The voices in my head grow stronger as there's nothing else to keep me company, trudging until the weight of those shadows begin to lift, hoping I can leave those voices behind me, but I never do. As I cross the Anarach, several days at a time pass when I see not a soul. I embrace the solitude, though, and spend that time talking aloud to myself about everything I've encountered and everything I have learned so far in my life. And with this limp, with the battles I won, my role in that battle, they celebrate me as a hero. I'm not so sure. As I walk, I hear music in my head, or so I think. As I dabble with not only do I hear voices, but I hear music. I'm dabbling with putting some music in these videos. We'll see how it works. I don't know if you can hear that or not. This is an experiment. Many realizations crystallized during my crossing of the Anarach, but soon enough I began to crave the company of another being. Perhaps, if I could find that girl, Endolin. But soon enough, my supplies begin to run short. Solitude becomes a threat to my survival. On the third day after my water skin runs dry, I see a dot. No, not a dot. Several small dots on the horizon traveling towards me, oscillating like specters across the dry sky. I pull Bonnie just to be safe. My spirits lift a little. Am I saved from dying of thirst by a traveling caravan consisting of several friendly half-orc families? Half-orcs dominate dorks, and the half-orcs dominate this land. Are those half-orcs running from shadows of their own, I wonder? They saved me from dying of thirst. Several friendly half-orc families who are running from the shadows of their own, it seems. They tell a tale of persecution in the lands I'm about to enter. They speak of tyrants, powerful despots, and secret networks. The word Zentzel is mentioned several times, usually in conjunction with the name Manchun, which makes me weigh for a moment the option of turning south and avoiding what lies ahead. That thought enters my mind for but a breath, following which I chide myself for my cowardice. No, ever since I set out on this journey, I was resolved to simply keep walking in the direction I had chosen. East. And now my resolve is firmer than ever. I've been revitalized with the nice gifts of these half-orcs. Whatever crosses my path, I will deal with it as I always have, with keen instinct and prodigious skill in combat, and Bonnie at my side. I say goodbye to the caravan and continue. Slowly, civilization, or at least the remnants of it, begin to emerge. Slowly, civilization, or at least the remnants of it, begin to emerge from the shifting sands. Ruins of the nethery spires and the plain of the standing stones bear witness to the great civilizations that once prospered here, where, when great cities hovered above the desert floor, the great floating city of Thulin Tathar, now lost somewhere over in the Shadow Plain, was the greatest of these. I walk on and wonder to myself if the desert has an ending. And it's at where this city of Thul Tinthar, where this city of the shade is. I enter the city. And I go to a tavern. Again, I make my inquiry. Barkeep, don't suppose you know where I can make a trade for items of great power?
Well, I don't know. Well, items of great power. What kind of items of great power?
They always want to know. That's just my business. Why don't you just say? I don't suppose. Do you know? And so we'll make our check. Oh, 18.
Well, yes, there is someone here that might. So let's see if we can figure out who that might be. There's a female.
A female, you say? Her name isn't Endolin, is it?
No, her name is Amelia de Bulbeck, a human armorer.
Armorer, you say? That is what I'm looking for. You say she's here somewhere in the City of Shade. That is where I'm at, right? City of Shade. City of Shade, yes indeed. And you say this Amelia might be able to help me.
Well, maybe. She is an armorer and she has a good selection of weapons, and so perhaps.
Thank you. Here. Here, take this coin for your troubles. Give him a gold coin, yeah.
Well, yes, thank you. You'll find her at her shop is just that away.
Okay. Thank you. Reserve me a room. Here's another gold for a room for the night. Maybe a meal and a drink.
Of course, I'll put your name on the registry.
What time of the day is it? I look outside. I look at the moon. It's just 1 p.m. Just after midday. Plenty of time to go see this Amelia de Bulbeck. I find her shop. I make an inquiry. Tell me, Amelia, have you ever seen a sword such as this? And I present the sword of the goddess's Rath, Kiaransalee, to her. She picks it up and she looks at it. She says, "Where did you get this? This is powerful. Dare I say, magical." Yes, it is. And I'm looking to get it off my hands. Would you be interested? I don't know. Would she be interested? Would she be interested in buying the sword? Let's ask. Interested in sword? And so I'll keep the chaos rank at 5. And I think she'd be interested. I think that's very likely. Yes. She, I could be interested in the sword if the price was right. Tell you what, would you have a trade? Or would you know how I could? I have my battle axe is very dear to me, and I'd be giving up this powerful weapon, but I sure would like to have my battle axe, my great axe, enhanced. Would you be able to do that? And I'm going to say that's very unlikely. Almost no way. So let's see what I got here. I'm going to say no way that she has ability to do that herself or has an axe. Ability to enhance Bonnie. No way. Let's see. Nope. It's worth the effort. Would you know? But let's talk price. I think, by my notes, a weapon such as this, an uncommon weapon, uncommon magic item such as this, should go for about 400 gold pieces. Would you be able to pay that much? All right. Let's see. I don't know. Can she? Full price. I think that's very, very likely. Near sure thing. Yes.
Yes, I think I could pay you 400 gold pieces for that.
Thank you. Now, do you know of a way that someone, you don't have the means to do it, but would you know of someone that could perhaps enchant or sell me a better weapon for my battle axe? My battle axe is a great weapon of mine. It's my preferred weapon. Does she know? Does Amelia know? Let's find out. I don't know. Know someone? And I'm going to set that at unlikely. Oh, well, yes, indeed. If you take this to our local cleric, they might be able to help you. Your cleric, you say? Well, who would that be? I don't know. Let's find out. We're going to say, we're going to change our social class, occupation to a class, and we're going to say that's a cleric. Cleric, and let's see what we get. Yes, well, Agmar Hillis is an older lady, a cleric. She has long, straight auburn hair and gray eyes. She has white skin, and she's pretty short and skinny. Diamond shaped face, and she has a piercing in one nose. She has a provocative piercing on her nose, and a beautiful piercing on her left ear. But don't bring her fish. She's allergic to fish. And where would I find her? Well, she proudly worships Sylvanas in the temple. Very good. And you say the temple's this way. Ah, yes, it is. That way. I will go seek her out. So, I travel through this town, the city of shade. I've visited the inn, I visited the shop, and now I go to the temple of Sylvanas to see if this Agmar can help me, can maybe enchant give a blessing perhaps to my Bonnie. I find her, I go to the temple, I reach her in, and I see her praying. And I sit behind her, and I wait for her to be done. Eventually, she stands and makes her way out, and I say, excuse me, are you Agmar Hillis? And she says, why, yes, I am Agmar. And I said, I get your name from the armorer. She sent me away, and she thought maybe you would be able to give a blessing to my weapon. She did she? Well, I don't know about that. Tell me, dwarf, what religion, what do you worship? I don't have much for the gods, but if I did, I suppose it would be Tempest, but my faith is not strong, I tell you. And says, well, you might consider the blessings of Sylvanas. If you were to give, let's say, a hefty donation, I would be much more inclined. What kind of donation? Well, let's just say, let's leave it to chance. I'm going to say it's more than the 4 gold that these dice rolled. I'm going to actually call that 104 gold, just for the chance. You sit here and pray, and we'll see if we can help you out. All right, so he makes the donation, and let's see if Agmar can give a blessing to his blade as we go over to Foundry. and we'll roll again on the fate chart. This time I'm going to say it's since she told him to say, and he gave her the big tip. Can she give a blessing? And let's see. Yes, she can. And how much will she charge? We're going to put the starting price at, and so we'll just ask again, how much? How much? And we'll send, we're going to give that, I don't know, we're going to keep that 50-50. So it's going to cost him a little bit more. We're going to say it's going to cost him 500 gold pieces. Plus 100 already. Yes, but the blessing would be nice, and I have the gold. It'd probably be not safe. I'd rather more safe to carry a blessed axe than it is those 500 gold. Fine. I hope your Sylvanas finds good use for this gold. I pay her the 500 gold.
And she says, come back in the morning, and your axe shall be blessed.
All right. Very good. And so, with that, I think that is where we'll end today. So, made progress, but we didn't quite. We only read half the intro to the Tyrant at Zentel's Keep. But we did do some good interlude actions as we got rid of the possessed sword from the dark, from Kiaransalee, this goddess of Rath, and we were able to figure out the blessing. We were able to get Bonnie blessed, and I'm making her a +1 sword. I think that feels, as if I were the DM, I would have let that happen. And I like how it went, and we rolled for the prices, so I think that was a good. So that was a little bit outside of the normal solo role playing that these books would be giving me, but it let me dabble in the mythic style of roleplay, which was fun, and I wanted that experience. So thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for if you want to hit the next episode of Dave's Imaginations. So until then, take care.